When you can understand that you are the operant power, that you've already won the lottery, that you're already the one that they've chosen, that you're already in that mansion, that you already are flying first class, that you already have that home aboard, that you already have that successful business, that you already have the revenue pouring in, that you already are a multimillionaire. When you can understand that there are multiple, endless, parallel realities for you to tap into, because your consciousness is limitless. And when you dominantly shift your conscious state to align to the parallel reality that you want to bring into your existence, and you do that dominantly and you persist in it, because those that persist receive, those that don't persist because they don't see anything changing, because the unseen is, you know, the world is still working out what's going on, making everything work out for you in divine timing, in divine order. And if you consistently persist, not only will you no longer have any wavering doubts, not only will you feel it real, you will hold it in your hand. You see, the outer world is a mirror to your conscious state, your dominant conscious state. What does that mean? It means your dominant conscious thoughts that create that vibration, that create that emotional state where you either attract what you want or you repel what you want, but everything outside of you has come from you. You know, I've been manifesting, not necessarily purposefully manifesting, but I had thoughts of, I wanted to be back in Ibiza, I wanted to have beach views, I wanted to be kind of more in like the countryside, in the woodlands, and the dream came into my reality. I shifted the emotional state. How did I do that? I was looking at different places where I could stay, and I just felt inspired to book them. You know, I talked in myself to have a house in Ibiza, and now I stay in a house in Ibiza as opposed to just a studio casita, you see. You know, how did I do that? I aligned myself to the version of me that could have it. I changed my conscious state, you know. That's exactly what I did with my ex-specific person all those years ago. I aligned to the conscious state, the emotional state of the version of me that already had what it was I wanted, which was him back with me. I aligned to the feeling of it. That's what I did, and I remained faithful to that. Mostly what I do is I speak things in, and I feel it through the speaking in, through the consistency of speaking things in to my reality, and then it comes. Now, what happens when you receive? So I'm just actually walking to a beach called Cala d'Hort, but what happens when you actually then receive it? If you don't want to lose it again, guess what? You have to remain in that dominant state. So that dominant state of you being a national lottery jackpot winner, you have to remain in that dominant abundant state that you are already wealth, that wealth flows to you easily and effortlessly. If that specific person's come back and you want to keep that specific person back and you've manifested them back in, then you want to be aligning to that dominant state of, I'm so thankful and grateful that I'm in this beautiful loving relationship with my specific person. It's the best thing since sliced bread. So I've got a car I'm going to go this way. You see, so, you know, it's when you align to the dominant state and you can receive the desire, and then once you've received the desire, you never give up on remaining in that dominant state of the version of you that has it. Not that they're going to start leaving, not that you're going to lose the money, not that you've got to be really careful with the money, because that's not the dominant state that you created to receive the money, you see. That makes sense. The outer world is a mirror of your inner reality. So when you're in a dominant, abundant, aligned state, you will dominantly keep and hold on to that. And the only thing that people, just like me, you know, when I was shifting my business model from doing the one-to-ones to have it receiving passive income through creating incredibly life transforming courses, I wasn't in the dominant state that I was when I had that business model. And so I'm shifting back into that dominant state. That's it. By doing exactly what I did, but just with a different business model, you see. You know, so it happens. We're human. Sometimes it happens. But if we want to keep and hold on to, I'm just going to show you. Etc. If you want to keep and hold on to the desire, then this is what you do. You've got to remain doing the inner work, which is why, sorry, might be lots of naked bums, which is why it's called a daily practice. It's called a daily practice, okay? So I really, really hope this helps. So we're shifting the emotional state from the old man, the one that doesn't have, to the new man, the one that has received. And when you remain persistent with that, the world will align locations, people, things will happen in the unseen for you to receive that. Then you will receive it only if you remain persistent in the feeling of the state of the wish fulfilled. Then if you want to keep it, you've got to keep remaining faithful to that emotional state that you created in the first place to receive it. Okay? Now the only other thing that can trigger people up is if they've got subconscious beliefs that are deeply buried from their childhood that will enable them to give it away again. So whether that's the money, whether that's the love, whether that's the weight loss, whatever it is. So what we want to do is we want to be doing the inner child work to dig up everything, so we make that inner child nurtured and safe to consistently receive, which then makes you being in that dominant state, that emotional state of receiving, and being the version of you that is abundant, that is rich, that is wealthy, that is in that loving relationship, and that can then receive it and then hold it and keep it long lasting. There we go. So if you want to find out about how to get to the root of your inner child, if you've got patterns of things coming and leaving, whether that's weight loss, business, success, the promotion, and then getting fired, you know, whatever it is, the loving relationship coming and going. I mean, I had all of this happen because I had an inconsistent state, an inconsistent nervous system. It was dysregulated based on the inconsistencies and the chaos that I experienced as a child. And guess what? Now I am receiving consistently love, kindness, support, wealth, freedom, generosity. It's like pouring to me because I'm keeping myself in that state of feeling safe and keeping her safe by reminding her that she is. And now the heart's fully open to receive the love, the kindness, the abundance, the money, the success, etc., etc., etc. So if you want to find out about how to do that, then check out the Healed Heart Blueprint. If you have any questions, or if you want to do it in a slightly different way, where we're going back to the deepest, darkest, most negative belief that you're holding on to, which is creating the pathways that your neural pathways are following from the root, from the deepest, most darkest, most negative belief that was implanted in you at round about birth or before, then check out Be Love. If you have any questions about these life transforming courses, then just DM me on Insta the name of the program that you're more interested in, or if you want to find out both of them, put both of them in the subject field and let's have a conversation, let's have a chat. So you don't just receive like I used to receive and then it go. That's so uncomfortable, it's so painful, and it's scary, and it's horrible, and mostly it's unnecessary. When you heal within, you rewire your nervous system, you recalibrate your nervous system to receive consistently peace, kindness, love, support, generosity, consistency, and you feel safe to hold it because you would have changed that identity, you would have shifted into that emotional state, but with daily inner work practices. So I'm sending you so much love from Caledor. I hope I pronounced that right. It is Vedra, beautiful feminine energy rock, magical. And I'm about to go and have a beer. So, adios amigos. And yeah, DM me if you have any questions. Ciao.